I studied piano first. I was playing the piano for about 3 years before I was introduced to motorcycles. And I had all the grades. I went every Monday to Mrs. Goody in Kiverton Park and had my piano lessons. But because I got introduced to motorcycles and I turned professional at 15 years old, all of a sudden that was a job. And I was getting paid to do it, and it was so fun and cool, and travelling the world. The first time I left Kiverton Park was to fly to Australia to ride my motorcycle. I mean, to be sat on the coast of Australia getting paid to do it, and paid to do something that you absolutely adore doing. I knew I loved the piano playing just as much as riding motorcycles. That was my passion too. Because I was a professional motorcyclist so early, it was a no-brainer. And that kind of like that, that forged the path of a career. But now I've had to retire. It's been nice to write the album that I've just written, and it feels like I've kind of like come back to what I could have done as well, kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to what becomes of this music project I've done. I've got a new band together. The album's coming out soon. Getting all the managerial people around it to launch it as well as possible, and I'm looking forward to what the future holds. So if I can, my aim is to have a #1 at racing, but also try and have a #1 at music as well. I'm married to Katie Melua, as everybody probably knows. I took my mum to Sheffield City Hall. It was supposed to be at Christmas time, because it was supposed to be December, because I remember I got it for my mum's Christmas present. And because it was a Christmas present, it was lucky actually, because I am a Yorkshire lad, deep down, and the ticket prices for good tickets were quite expensive to see Mrs. T now. But I got second row, because it was my mum's Christmas present. So I went there, but it was postponed to April. So she fell ill, unfortunately, and had to postpone. But luckily, by postponing, because I wasn't going to be able to go in April, but I injured my wrist, which in the end retired me, unfortunately. But because I was injured at that point with the wrist, I was able to go to the concert, and I took my mum. And ironically, I had not noticed, but I got all the metal pins hanging out my wrist. And Katie's piano player is a massive motorcycle fanatic. And unbeknown to me, he'd spotted me in the crowd that evening as he was playing. And the next day he emailed me, or emailed the office that I work with, and he said, "Oh, it was fantastic to see you at the gig, and if you want to ever come again, please let me know. It'd be great to meet you. I'm a massive motorcycle fanatic." So I met up, and the next gig I went to was in Ipswich, and I went backstage, and then Katie was in the room. And how it all kicked off was I said to Jim, the piano player, for getting him the tickets and everything, I'll set up taking him on the back of the bike and giving him a pillion ride around one of the tracks. To which he was amazed with and says, "Oh, I can't believe it, I'd love to do that." But Katie was there and she says, "Oh, bugger Jim, I want to go on that." So that's where it started. So we exchanged numbers and got talking, and realised it was a bit of an excuse to get in touch with each other on the pillion ride things, and things obviously led to one thing to another, and we ended up marrying. I think it was about 18 months after that, so it was a real quick thing.